What's up, guys? My name is Dante and thank you very much for watching another video. In the past videos, I've talked a lot about the things that we can do to increase happiness in our lives, the things that we can practice that will, as a result, bring more happiness. But in my experience, I've also come across a few things that I shouldn't be doing, or the things that if I do them will result in less happiness and less effectiveness in life. And that's what today's principle is about. It's mostly about looking at the world through a different lens. And so the way I look at life now, or the way at least I try to practice looking at life, is I put everything in two categories. And when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. It's mostly with interactions with people, but it can be interactions with places, the things that I'm doing, the places I'm going. And so when I go to places or when I talk with people, I tend to put my judgments or what I'm viewing into two categories. And those categories are very simple. It's things I can control and things I cannot control. And one skill is learning how to put those things into categories, because sometimes things that we can't control come across as things that we might be able to affect or might be able to control. And so the first part of this principle is honing that skill and really looking at things and being able to put them in the category of being able to control them, being unable to control them. And once we get that down, and let me stop for a second and just say a really easy tip and trick to hone that skill is to notice other people, other places, and other things, and recognize right off the bat that those are things that I cannot control. And this will become clear in a second why this is really important. So honing that skill is one of the things that I attribute most of my happiness to, is being able to look at something that I do not agree with, something that does not make me happy, something that makes me feel uncomfortable. And I'm able to look at those things now and say, I cannot control them. And so here's where the principle comes in. The name of this principle is acceptance. And guys, if you can learn how to practice acceptance perfectly, the sky's the limit when it comes to happiness. The sky's the limit when it comes to success. This is the thing that I see society struggle with the most. We spend so much time and so much energy in our lives trying to control the things that just cannot be controlled. And it's no wonder why we're unhappy. Imagine, we spend all of the time changing something that just can't be, and this goes back to people being able to put it into two categories of things I can control and can't control. And so if something that cannot be controlled is put into the wrong category, we can spend so much time and energy and effort trying to change it. But then what happens? Well, nothing happens. And we feel useless and powerless. We feel like the world is just controlling us and we have no control over anything. And that's not the truth. The truth is, and this is going to sound weird, but the truth is we only have control over the things that we have control over. And I know that sounds confusing, so let me explain. The things that I recognize in my life that I have control over are my actions, my attitudes, and my thoughts. It's a very short list. And that's how you get good at honing the skill of what I can control and what I can't control. Because in the category of what I can control, very few things. But I get really good at those very few things, and now suddenly life becomes easy. I get very good at controlling my thoughts. I get very good at controlling my actions and my attitudes. And now I get into less confrontations. I have less conflict in my life. I have less problems. I think less that the world is against me, because I start to feel like I have control. And I start to feel like I have power in the world again, power over my own life. That sense of powerlessness goes away. Like I said in the first video, this channel is about empowering people. And of the principles that will empower you, acceptance is at the top of the list. And it goes hand in hand with things that'll make us happy. It's fascinating to me. If you can research a little bit about acceptance and maybe look up some lectures, but the research is outstanding. I mean, people, and just imagine for a moment somebody who can practice acceptance perfectly. Imagine that person. I have never met that person. I am certainly not that person who practices it perfectly. But if we can imagine someone who takes everything in their life, if they can't control it, they accept it as being the way it's supposed to be, and it can no longer affect them in a negative way, and they move through life with ease, comfort, happiness, success. It's incredible that we don't talk about this in schools and teach our children that we need to practice acceptance. And now look, hey, like I spend a lot of my time teaching grown people not how to practice acceptance, but what acceptance is and how it can benefit your life. It's incredible. So for this week, I would suggest looking at your situations, looking at your circumstances, and putting them into the category. Can I control it or can I not control it? And once again, if it's another person, a place, or something, it is automatically going to be in the category of things I can't control. But if it's your action, your attitude, or your thoughts, it's going to be in the thing that we can control. And so for this week, let's try to focus on the things that we can control. Our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. And how can we align them with happiness? How can we align them with gratitude? Right? And so as we go through the channel, we're going to talk more and more about the thoughts and actions that we can use our energy, our newfound energy, because we're no longer going to be wasting it trying to control things that just will never change. We're going to be using all of this extra energy to focus it towards the best actions, the best attitudes, and the best thoughts. This is the essence of a successful life, a happy life, is focusing our energy, our finite energy, into the right things. So like I said, for this week, comment down below what you see as a result of this. If you can do it one time where you're used to putting energy into things that you cannot control, and you decide to accept that situation and focus on your actions and attitudes, comment down below what happens. What do you feel after that? I guarantee you it'll bring you more happiness. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.